can start. You can start.
Greetings and warm welcome to all the dignitaries present here. I am Rimpa from Clearnet, serving as the allocated session assistant to ensure a seamless experience. Clearnet is India's most trusted, widely used digital platform, offering a multitude of enriching services exclusively for doctors. Clearnet is elated to be chosen as the digital partner for this event organized by Indian Association of Preventing and Social Medicine. So the today's focus would be participatory learning and action. Let's begin with today's session, for which I would like to invite Dr. Animesh Jain. Over to you, sir.
So thank you, Rimpa, and thank you, Clearnet, for partnering with us. IAPSM Karnataka is quite privileged to have you together with us so that we can run these programs unhindered. Thank you. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to this another edition of IAPP, as we call it. This is IAPP webinar, that is Interinstitutional Academic Program for Postgraduates. Though the name says postgraduates, we know that in the audience we have quite a few faculty members and others as well, and you're all welcome. So this has been an initiative of IAPSM Karnataka chapter, and post-COVID pandemic, we've been fortunate enough to explore this technological platform and reach out to people outside Karnataka as well. So thank you for joining us. Our Karnataka IAPSM president is actually traveling and may not be able to join us. So we have Dr. Asha and myself representing IAPSM. Both of us are vice presidents in our capacity of being the vice president. We are happy to be here today. And today we have a very interesting session on PLA, which will be taken by Dr. Yamuna. And let me briefly introduce Dr. Yamuna, who I was interestingly interacting with just a little while ago, and I got to know a little more about her. So Dr. Yamuna has completed her graduation from Sri Siddhartha Medical College in Tumkur in 2012. Following that, she went on to do her MD in Community Medicine from SSIMS Davangere, and she was a rank holder in the university. Even in her MBBS, she was first class student, and then she was a rank holder with third rank in the university. She's been a learner throughout till now, and she's completed a advanced certificate course in prevention and management of diabetes and cardiovascular diseases from PHFI, that is the premier institute in India, Public Health Foundation of India. And she's also done a course from Stanford University on child development, behavior and mental health. And she's not stopped at that. She's also looked at how to factor in life skill and facilitator training she's undergone just last year by Mano Shanti and Dr. Shrikala Bharat. More than that, what I'm interested in, that she is different from what we usually encounter. She's not purely an academician, but she's been a person who's worked in the field and has a lot of rich experience. Following her post-graduation, she went and worked with KHPT, Karnataka Health Promotion Trust, and she was there for 1.5 years. Then she went on to join NHM, and she was there for nearly 3 years there, following which she joined a short stint as an academician at Sridevi Institute of Medical Sciences in Tumkur. Following the family need, she had to take a break, but then she had good interaction with some of her friends, including one in Germany, and then 4 of them founded the Aniketana Trust. So she is a founder and managing trustee of Aniketana Trust, and that's based at Tumkur. They have a lot of flagship programs, Shema, Chetana, Arogya Jagrati. So they are doing a lot of good work, and she's been able to do what we are trained for. So she's working with the people, she's implementing certain things, and that's how we thought that she's the right person who can talk about participatory learning and action, PLA. And we have Dr. Yamuna. Thank you, Dr. Yamuna, for obliging us and being with us. So over to you.
Yes.
I hope I've been able to introduce you briefly, but justly.
Yes, sir. It was very kind of you. Thanks for that. Yes, namaskara elrigu. A very good evening. And first of all, my gratitudes to Animesh sir, Asha ma'am, and IAPSM for giving me an opportunity to present the work we are doing. and it's a privilege and honor to be on this platform, wherein many of the brilliant minds have been shared the platform, as well as there. I'm very happy to share whatever we are doing with the young and brilliant and wonderful audience out there in today's meeting. So, can I begin, sir?
Please do. You'll have to
Yes,
share
sir.
the presentations.
Yes, sir.
Please make it full screen. Yes.
Yes, sir. So today's topic would be it's like a more unconventional method of research, yet it is context specific as well as cost effective. That is participatory learning and action, in short, PLA. So, outline of today's presentation, I'll be going to discuss, and we can learn together regarding the nitty-gritties of the participatory learning and action. And I'll be briefing on the initiatives like Shema and Chetana that we have begun in the field practice area of ours. It's a panchayat area, wherein we have started our work since 1 year. Followed by, I'll be summarizing with the advantages and drawbacks of having PLA on ground. So, may I request any one of you like volunteer and interpret these two pictures? Any two of you, whatever it strikes to your mind.
So it would be nice if we can have some volunteer
Yeah.
talking about it.
Okay. So,
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
please. Yes,
Yes.
yes, please.
The first picture is showing the policy making, and those are putting their efforts, like their ideas, concern. Then politicians will be putting their own things. Then local solution support. Everything will be compared to form the policy. It is shown in first picture, and in second
correct.
picture, I think the policies are being implemented, and it is uh, getting benefited for the others in the community. I feel so. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's great.
Thank you.
Thank
But
you.
please introduce yourself.
I'm Dr. Paurnami from AJ Institute of Medical Sciences, first year community medicine PG.
Great.
Okay.
So you're from Bangalore, where I'm based. Great. Okay.
Yes.
Any other perspective? Just one more.
Yeah, sure.
So
See,
PLAs is about all about
there's nothing right or wrong. Let me
yeah,
add that,
true.
please, because what I understand is Dr. Yamuna wants to know what's your perspective. Of
Yeah,
course, she will tell you, but there's nothing right or wrong, so you don't have to be apprehensive.
correct. Okay. So no problem, sir. Let's move ahead,
Yeah,
sir.
please
Yeah.
move ahead. Maybe
Okay.
slowly they'll open up
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little.
yeah. No problem. PL is all about participatory. So I thought we'll make it more participatory.
True.
So having worked in both government and non-government organization, having experienced both the scenarios, I can correlate the first picture similar to the government boardrooms. This is how a policy or a program happens or being drafted. And the second picture, I can correlate with a non-governmental organization wherein the skilled expertise come together and they draft a plan or a guideline. Maybe it is called as an innovation or a newer approaches. So this is regarding health program initiatives and the top-down approaches which they follow in basically majorly in the government sectors and to an extent in the NGO sector. So here, what we want to know is in the top-down approach, basically what happens is the any health issues or the concerns are addressed through the measures or the initiatives which are centralized and standardized and are being adhered to the timelines and the rigid targets. So yes, top-down approach has its own efficiency, which can be implemented very quickly, and also it can be applied to the larger population. And in NGO sector, they see that new approaches and the innovations happen so that they can feed the government policymakers as well as oblige the objectives of the donors. So in the process of having obliging the donors, they might end up. They also claim that they practice mixed approach, that is bottom up and top down, but they end up doing the top down approach itself. So the in both the pictures, what is missing, what is major missing is the community. we are doing something for the community and they are not being the key stakeholders in our decision making. So this is the one thing which might lead to a certain, we can miss out on the needs and the perspectives on the changing trends in the community needs. So this is how it is being it can pose a problem to us. So with this, so after certain point of time, all the programs what we are having is majorly top down. So after certain point of time, when we achieve certain amount of progress, beyond which to achieve a progress will be difficult, because community is not involved in any of the decision making and also in the monitoring and evaluation aspects. So the outcome of the top down approach will be this. So someone from the outside, a very sophisticated lady coming to a village and saying that, hey, look, I know what your problem is, and you need a healthy livestock. So this is regarding the animal husbandry. But thing is, it is equally important in all the sectors. The approach we follow is almost similar to this. Although there are efforts in place to come out of it and to include more of the community engagement and participation, there is still a long way to go. So when I say outsiders, this is a pictures which depicts community. That is a man who is miserable with his livestock dead, and there is an outsider who is coming and teaching or training the community member regarding what is the need of his. So this is a one picture what depicts that. So imagine here we have one outsider. I mean, here outsider means we mean that policymaker. It can be a researcher, it can be an evaluator. So policymakers basically go to the or reach out to the beneficiary in the last mile through their community workers. For example, ASHAs in Department of Health and Family Welfare, Anganwadi workers in Department of Women and Child Development, and PDO, that is Panchayat Development Officers, and his subordinates in the RDPR. So everyone has their own agenda, everyone has their authoritative style of implementing the strategies, everyone has their targets, everyone has their timelines. No one talk to each other, they work in silos basically. So at the end of the day they end up giving the same solution on different plates, and even without asking the need of the community. This is paradox. So at the end of the day, what we say, like the program doesn't work because there's a lot has to be done regarding the community's awareness, and there is lot has to be changed regarding the knowledge and attitude of the community members. But the reality is, according to a Robert Chambers, who is a development practitioner in 1970s, who practiced PLA in theory and practice basically. So he says that the major problem is not in them, that is community, but with us, that is the outside professionals. So again and again, we have rushed, we have dominated and imposed our reality rather than the community's reality, denying that of the community. It includes both weak, vulnerable, stronger section, and irrespective of all the age and socioeconomic status. For the community to be empowered, it requires us to change, to interact in a new ways, and to become not to controllers and teachers or transfers of technology, but rather facilitators and supporters, enabling those who are weak and marginalized to express their own realities, to plan and act. So this is us, we have to change. So with this background, let's move ahead. And so in 1960s and 70s until today, the major approach which is adopted in development sector, not only in the health, in all the sectors, is the top down approach. They somehow say we have included the community, but it again takes a long way to go ahead. So in 1960s and 70s, as reaction to this top down approach, there was some methodological innovations happening in the field, especially in the global south, that is in India, Kenya, Ethiopia, and Thailand. And most of the things, new innovations happens in the global south, but unfortunately the proceedings and the reporting was happened by the north people, but they acknowledged it. Thanks for that. So basically what happened was, there was a long survey questionnaires in the quantitative data, and the results which was delayed due to the long survey questionnaires was somewhat, it is like unreliable, because of not following the appropriate methodology. And there was also a dissatisfaction to the unreliability of the impression which was given by the outside professionals. Say example, for example, a urban development professional visiting to a village and giving an impression, definitely it is unreliable because they have not lived the life of a vulnerable section of the society. So this demanded a methodological innovation which happened in the sector, first happened in the agro ecosystem analysis, wherein the dynamic, complex and diverse farming system were analyzed through the rapid rural appraisal. So here in Gordon Conway and his colleagues in 1980s used rapid rural appraisal, wherein they tried to get the information and they tried to learn from the villagers and the community regarding the farming system through some observations, semi-structured interviews. That's how it began. So it also happened in Ethiopia and Gujarat, wherein different types of representation were used with the community to validate the data what they have gained through Red Cross and Aga Khan Rural Support Program. So later in the 1980s, they assumed that the rapid rural appraisal became a method of extracting the information from the community. So that's how they thought, no, let's not stop here. Let's involve the community in planning, in identifying the solution, and let's involve them in the, in strategizing the solutions for their own good. So that's how it happened to be a participatory rural appraisal, wherein the community doesn't stop in giving the data, or the outsider doesn't go out by taking the data. They involved with the community and they strategize the solutions for the problems. So later on, this PRA took a shape and form as a community action, a PLA, that is participatory learning and action. It happened in global south, that is in Bangalore, where in three key NGOs, that is Merada, ActionAid, and AKRSP, they extensively use this method in going a step ahead and involving them in monitoring and evaluating and reviewing the implementation strategies what they're using through their participatory programs. So later on, it took a it was widely used in the family planning approaches, sexual and reproductive health, nutrition, and very recently, not very recently, it was long before, Ekjut trial, Makwanpur trial in Nepal, and Gram Varta in Bihar, that was Jivika used. They used this PLA extensively and very sensibly, and they showed there is a decline in the neonatal mortality rate by 45% in Ekjut trial and 30% in Makwanpur trial. So we can even say the numbers are reducing. We can quantify the data obtained from the participatory learning and action, and now it's widely used in early childhood care and development, women's health, and NCDs across the globe. So, and happy to see that it's a part of ASHA training, and we have to see how it will be taken up in the coming days. So with this, that's how the PLA has been evolved. It is not a one fixed approach. It has been evolved from the rural appraisal, from the rapid appraisal, from participatory rural appraisal, then the action. That's a participatory learning action. It can be described as family of approaches, methods, attitudes, and behaviors to enable and empower people to share, analyze, and enhance their knowledge of life and condition, to plan, act, monitor, evaluate, and reflect. This is the whole gist of the PLA. So, wherein the community plays a key role and outsiders in community work together with the full participation of the community. So this is how the PLA is being looked into. So it's been like not even a kids are left behind. Even the most of the vulnerable section, the children, the poor, the women, and in the disabled and the illiterate, everybody will be involved. That's how it's flexible to involve all the section of the society. So they are involved in identifying the issues. They are involved in identifying the effects of the issues, and they are involving in going back and finding out the sole reason for what the effects they are facing, and they're also involved in planning, implementing, and reviewing the strategies. So when it comes to principles of PLA, basically PLA works on a few principles. That is, PLA is designed to be designed to be include the multiple perspectives and embrace the diversity. So it is based on the group analysis and the learnings from the group analysis. So whole group should be involved. It should be we should involve everyone in the group, and the design should be flexible enough. It should be adaptive. It should be innovative. It is rather unlikely, that is what we follow in the quantitative, we have a rigid protocol. Here it should be flexible and adaptive and innovative enough to accommodate the needs of the community. So here the voices and opinions of the vulnerable are heard in a non-judgmental environment. The mistakes, the problems, the issues, whatever they are facing, it should be heard in a non-judgmental environment. We should follow high ethical standards while conducting the PLA, and the language and the concept we use in the PLA should be relevant not to us, the outsiders. It should be relevant to the local culture and the context. So again, we have to triangulate the data, what we obtained from with more than one or two sources, so that we have a reliability of the data, what we are obtaining. And the the analysis is done on the real time, so that we can feed back to the community to take the necessary action then and there. So here again, the facilitators, as we discussed before, they're not the trainers, they're not the teachers, they're not the transferers of technology. Here they act as a catalyst, they act as a supporters, and they empower the community in taking the appropriate action. So the facilitators, we have to involve a multidisciplinary team, so that the skills required to conduct the PLA matches with the facilitation skills. Like in the quantitative methodology, there is evidence. We see look into the evidence, but here we not look into the evidence. Rather, we look into the actionable plan, which might change the plight of the community. So how it works, I think this is radical for us learning community medicine and studying epidemiology in epidemiology. Optimal ignorance and appropriate imprecision is very much unconventional, but this works for the in the context of the community. So how it works is like in PLA, it is not desirable to provide a standardized methodology or process, as it should be flexible and should be adaptable to the need as and when it arises in the community. We have to be flexible enough to adapt it in our methodology. So one thing what we should make it clear is the goals and the objective of the PLA should be clarified. So it should be clarified and agreed with that of the community. The community should own it. So and then we have to select a set of relevant tools and approaches to collect the data, which can also be used by the community, not by the facilitators. Basically, it should be used by the community, and the data should be triangulated. So data analysis is done cumulatively, and it is done in real time, and the method used can be applied by the community members. This is the whole way, the simple way how the PLA works. It is completely driven by the community members rather than the facilitators. So when I say optimal ignorance, so here we don't want data which doesn't feed any action to the community. So we have to stop at the point of optimal ignorance when the data is not yielding any of the decision-making action. So it's not, if it is not yielding any decision-making action or on the field, so we have to stop there. No need of trying to find out more than what is needed. So unlike sample size, we don't have sample size here. Once we get the data enough to feed back to the community, there we have to stop. Then appropriate imprecision. So there is no need to establish the association or the significant association with a p-value or the risk relative ratio, everything. So no need of being precise in establishing the causal pathways. So no need of trying to measure what does not need to be measured, or measuring more accurately than is necessary for the practical purposes. So this is the two key legs of the PLA, where we practice PLA in the field. This is something the epidemiologists or the strict academicians see it as a quick, and sometimes it is dirty also, because there is nothing like statistical evidence here, nothing like significant association here, but still it works in the field. So when it comes to tools and techniques, we know already, we have discussed it. We would have seen it in the M&D universe, wherein we have semi-structured interviews, focus group discussions, and lot many things, which we also follow in our community medicine practice. So other than that, we have certain specific tools and techniques which can be followed, or which should be followed during the PLA sessions. So this you would have come across already, the community maps. The community maps can be a transect walks, wherein the facilitators walk in line across the regions and talk to key informants and observe the things. And this can be a social map, wherein the community members plot certain areas based on the religion, based on the socioeconomic status, based on the distance from the health facility, and also the mobility map, wherein certain there might be a mobilization of certain houses or certain group of people outside the village or inside the village. So all this gives us a quick review. Whatever we do in census or surveys, it takes larger time, but if we do this, the community maps through transect or social mapping, we can do a village modeling. We can get a quick snapshot of what the village is all about. So it helps us in actually basically planning our services, and also to identify the where to locate the health services, plan our outreach sessions, and where basically our beneficiaries are not receiving the services, we also get to know. So this is about the community map. Again, more of the diagrams. Basically, you would have heard about Venn and chapati diagrams or the flow diagrams, livelihood analysis diagram. In the picture, we have shown this regarding Venn diagram. It is the what are the reasons for drinking, the chapati size and size of the chapati and distance of the chapatis from the factor. It shows a significant association, whether it is significant, how much it is causal for the drinking. That shows the chapati size, and the distance shows the significance of association. And here in the child mortality, this shows the different and various n number of causes which might lead to the child mortality. So this is there will be flow diagrams to understand the causal pathways and to where to correct in the community, what measures has to be taken, where in which link they have to get the correction done. This will help us in the flow diagram. So another mode of tool or approach is the ranking. So wherein there are n number of problems or n number of issues the community is facing, to make prioritize the things, they have preference ranking, and to identify a particular strategy for which works well for a particular issue, they do pairwise ranking. And there are direct matrix and health ranking as well as wealth ranking. So this helps us in identifying and prioritizing, and where to prioritize, when to prioritize, and which strategy to choose. The ranking diagrams or the ranking method helps us in doing so. So regarding timelines and time trends, so what happened in the history, like before 20 years, what was the trend then, what was the trend now? Basically, this diagram shows what will be the plight of a woman if she give birth to a female child, what will be a plight of a woman if she give birth to a male child, what this had led to. So there was a difficulty in finding a girl for a marriage now, and it was a difficulty to find a groom, for a marriage. It was before. So this is a gist of this, diagram. So we do have another approach like calendars. So it is regarding seasonal calendar and daily schedule. Seasonal calendar tell us in which season or which month what disease or what sickness is more, in whom the sickness is more. We can appropriately plan our resources and strategies during seeing this seasonality of the diseases. And in daily schedule, whoever is participating, they we can calculate, we can assess their workload, when they will be busy, when to plan our community meeting, is there any gender bias in the workloads what they face in the home, and what are the major timeline which they dedicate, and how we can best utilize their timeline if at all, if it is needed in our PLA. So this gives us information regarding the basically the time utilization regarding the participants. So this is regarding triangulation of the data. Like, say, for example, we collect information from the various methods, and we try to triangulate with more than at least two approaches, what we have done, so that it enhances the reliability and credibility, and thus it ensures that we are going in the right direction. So with this, like, very brief, on the PLA. So I'm not taking up any trials here. We have many trials happening in field. Ekjut trial, which is been taken up by Ekjut team in Jharkhand and Orissa. They have moved ahead with the maternal and neonatal mortality or the health towards early childhood care and development, as well as NCDs. So there are lot many trials happening in the global south, and we will be happy to share in future once the report is out. So we have ECJU trials report. As I mentioned before, there is a significant decline in the neonatal mortality, and we can definitely see many changes, and there are many trials happening in the field. And I'm happy to, like, we are happy to acknowledge that indeed it's looked upon before the programs was dependent on the quantitative data, like it was objective, more of indicators were used in any of the health programs. But now it is slowly balancing out with the quantitative data, qualitative data also. So now Ministry of Health and Family Welfare now included PLA sessions based on the ECJU trial approach, wherein the ashas, whatever she learns in module 6 and 7, there are 30 topics related to maternal and child health. She will be conducting the PLA meeting in field using the PLA approaches. So we have to see, it is being taken up in a pilot basis. Let's see how it can be generalized. There is a risk of generalization, which I will be discussing in the later slide. So with this was the theory regarding the PLA, and let's see like how we are practicing. It is just a beginning, and we are learning a lot in the field by practicing PLA. So this is somehow it's not planned. PLA in our field practice area, it was not planned by us. It was given by the community, the best approach given by the community. This is best for us, this is how you need to work. So went with the ingrained attitude that community should listen to me. I have so much of information with us, so they have to listen to me. And in discussion, we used to lead the discussions. We never used to allow them to contribute. If they contribute also, we don't used to take it in a significant way, but they taught us a nice lesson. No, it is we have to take necessary steps. So that's how we evolved in practicing PLA. So this was our initiative. One of the initiative which we are following right now is Kshema. It is basically a self-help group anchored participatory learning and action to improve the health and its determinants, the like outcomes throughout the life course in a rural area of southern Karnataka. So basically, here our objective is to improve the health literacy of the SSG members, so that they can take action on their own health and wellness, and also the action on the community health. So what we try to achieve here is, one thing is enhancing their health literacy and act for their own health as well as the community health. That is their responsibility, and also a ripple effect which we see in their families, in their SHG peer groups, and also in collectively in the community. So we are trying to see how it works. So these are the pictures wherein the community, first, this was the first PLA session what we had. So wherein the community were given a group activity, and they to make them understand, it's an art activity. Basically it's to make them understand it is they themselves has to address their own problems rather than being dependent on the outsiders. How for the government or there are government, but we should not wait the government policy or NGO policy or people to come and help us. They have that power, they can do it. So this is the whole motto about this program. They themselves can come out of the problem with the with the converged efforts. So this is the wherein in this PLA they came together, they identify the problems together, discussing. First they discuss, they then jotted down it on a chart paper. So just look at this. So even if I sit and do the listing, I think I'll fall out of a few of it. But when they came together, when it is their own problem, they came out of a list of issues what they're facing. Of course, we can group it into different headings, but a numerous number of issues they're facing. And you can see there are certain issues like electric shakti heenate and makkalali apaushtikate and cholera samasya. I don't know, still they have that cholera is still prevalent. I don't know, ಕೀಟಗಳ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ, ಅರಣ್ಯಗಳ ನಾಶ, for those who doesn't understand Kannada. So they have taken all the determinants of the health. So we being community medicine practitioner, it's our responsibility to see holistically, but it is happening genuinely or generically in the field. They are looking their own health holistically. So they are trying to bring in the determinants of the health also in their problems. It is being facilitated in the field as a part of first PLA session. So together we decided and grouped into certain headings. So where they want to take up healthy lifestyle as a first session to go ahead, because we can't go to them ask problem like, I want to work for your diabetes, I want to work for your hypertension, I want to work for your mental health and well-being. So no, we can't use the jargon words. It's the words which is very similar, very familiar to them. We have to use diabetes. They say you are either, it's there already. What can we do with this? Nange maika navide. I have generalized weakness. I have knee pain. I can't sit. I can't walk. So this is something what they say. So we have to address in their own language. So we began with this it's healthy eating. So this is a pictorial representation we used as a flip chart, wherein they participated. They built a beautiful pyramid, food pyramid, with their involvement. And again, these SSG members will go back to their community and will go back to their peer groups, and they will disseminate this information using a capsule of flip chart what we have given to them. So to throw more light on what we are doing, so we have selected 36 volunteers. We have 36 SHGs, that is self-help groups in the panchayat area, Belvatta Gram Panchayati. So average size of each SHG is around 10. So what we have done was, first we asked them to volunteer themselves, 1 person from SHG. So they do gave the names, and we tried calling them. So later they only told that no, we will come in turns. So that even other member will benefit, and even other member will empower with the skills needed for facilitation. So now they are coming in turns, and indeed the attendance is quite not at 100%, and we are still struggling to make it 100%. And definitely yes, it will happen in a due course. Before we used to wait for 2 to 3 hours in the field. Again, it's not the time what we give, it's the time what they give. We have to be there on the field for the facilitation. It's obviously based on their works and based on their priorities they come, but definitely they will come. Once they see the opportunity to learn, opportunity to improve their well-being, they'll definitely be part, and they will wait even before I arrive there. So this is the scenario what we are ensuring there in the field practice area. So this is how the next part of the PLA, they use the flip charts wherein they tried discussing. They, believe me, they are the best resource persons we could have. This is the ICMR guideline what we have translated into Kannada. So we got even more context specific, even more what I say logical solutions on field, which can be applied in the community, and especially the homemakers. They're the pros. They're the resource persons when it comes to eating. So this is one thing what we did. And so now we are evolving. Now we are done with the healthy eating, so we are now moving ahead with the physical fitness. So again, the problem what they say is like, no, we can't take out the time for walking, we can't do yoga. So this is how so they have evolved, they have arrived at a solution. Let's see how we can do yoga, let's see how we can walk, let's meet. So now they're asking when you're coming, when you are doing the next PLA. So next session will be on the physical activity. So we are, incorporating whatever exercise. It's not yoga, it's not meditation. Whatever they want to have it, whatever they can practice, whatever they can own, and whatever they can sustain is something what we are looking at. So that was about Kshema, and this is one about Chetana. It's one of the initiative. Indeed, it is not PLA, but it is participatory and experiential learning. It's an initiative wherein we are trying to empower adolescents through life skill education for their holistic well-being and a resilient community. So this is based on the module which was developed by Nimans. It was Dr. Shikala Bharat, who is an author. She's an author of curriculum which is taken up by WHO CRO module, which is now being used by CBSE. So I had a privilege to be trained under her. So, and it is very near to me. I see kids are the future. Kids are the ambassador of anything, whatever happens in future, and in the very relevant today also. They can even go back to their home and say, "Appa, ಇದು ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋ ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅಮ್ಮ, this you have to do." And they practice, and they ask others around them to practice. They lead the change. So they are very close to our trust's activity. So we have included sixth and seventh students in our life skill education, wherein we involve wherein certain skills like self-awareness, creative thinking, critical evaluation, abuse, how to cope with the emotion and stress, relationship issues, all these are taught through a participatory activities. It is a short activity wherein they are involved. They learn through their experiences, sharing, and certain activities. So this is regarding the activities what we do in field. This is regarding blindfold activity. For example, why they should listen to their elders and parents. If we preach them, they won't understand, but if we do this activity, yes, something will go into their mind and they will definitely follow it. So this is something, and they're doing we have discussed a case scenario, and they're discussing and they're jotting down what they learned and what is the advantage, what a particular case, in case what they see it as a problem, how she or he would have overcome it. So this is regarding the activity what they does. So excuse. So with this, so we have just started, and there is a long way to go, and I could see I mean enormous opportunity in the field. So basically whatever we learn in the academics, I think it is a best place to practice is the community, and they are the best resource persons once we pass out of post graduation. Of course our teachers are the who lead us, who groom us, but once we are out of a academic setting, the community will be a great resource person for us to learn and evolve. So the advantages here would be it is very rapid. And you might be thinking I'm funded, since it is a trust, I would receive funds to do these activities. But trust me, it is just 1 year old, and we have although we have all the legislative things done, but we don't have a funding from outside. So I spend very minimal. Only thing what I'm spending or what I'm doing here is my time, my skill, and just the fuel for my car. That's it. So rather other things happens in the field, we can connect the dots, we can bring in GP here, we can bring in the health structure and the CHO here, we can bring in the crowdfunding here. So they started identifying their own resources here. So I'm running with the we are running the program, the PLA and Chetana, without any external funding. So it's highly accurate because the triangulation is done, the validation happens in the field itself. So analysis and results are immediately available, so we no need to wait until it's analyzed with the rigorous methodological statistical analysis. So it will be given immediately in the form which can be fed back to and discussed with the communities. So PLA approaches and methods can open up the hidden and sensitive subjects regarding violence, abuses, and everything and whatnot. So it empower the local community to take actions, to be the owners of what they choose, and to implement the strategies, to monitor what the progress is, and to review and then act. It is like PDSA, plan, do, study, and act cycle. So here they learn, they implement, they review, and they monitor, and again they will learn. So this cycle keeps on iterative. So it is iterative and it is complementary, it is a continuous process. So here the community will be accountable, the ownership lies on the community, with we being the facilitators, and it is more sustainable because it is being chosen and it is context and community specific. So one again, these are the advantages. Though potential drawbacks here would be the one thing, the major drawback is, even I was learning, I was not a good facilitator, and still now I'm learning, I'm not a good facilitator. It depends on the behavior of the outsider, that is the facilitator. A facilitator should not only know the technicalities of the technical methods which we impart in PLA, but also he or she should be a good listener. He should stand back in the background and support the community. He should have a critical self-awareness, and he should not rush and dominate the discussions among the community, and rather stand there in the back and listens what they are discussing. So I don't know, we would be ingrained to rush. Attitudes, our attitude will be to rush. So I was also I'm just fine tuning those attitudes, and I'm learning how to behave with the community, how to get more things in order to have an impactful program or a strategies in order to help themselves. So this is one potential drawback. The facilitators should be more skillful. And generalization, and the generalization is again a issue, because you understand, it is in the government, it is scale, and the leadership qualities what they have is authoritative and inspectory style. So bureaucrats want numbers, that is objective measures. Indeed, now it is changing, and they have to have a real impact. But generalization, we have to make it carefully, we have to have a slow and careful generalization, wherein we start with the village, and then it is generally taken up for monitoring and evaluation, then scale it up across the geography. So but this centralization should not compromise on the quality. We have to ensure the quality while generalizing, which requires rigorous training and rigorous cascade of training at various levels. So this is the advantages and drawbacks. With this, I think these are the references. You can go back to the you can go back and read. There is lot is written in the internet, especially the Institute of Developmental Studies from London, Robert Chambers. He has done enormous work. You can read trials, that is Egju trial. It has been explanatory. It is very good to see the work what they're doing, and we can adopt so many things from there. So these are the list of references. And to conclude, I think we run best on two legs. So community medicine is something I believe we have to practice along with the academics. They can't go, in a different line. So we have to balance both of them. Wherein practice without academics will have a risk of slow learning. Academics without practice will have a risk of irrelevance. So we have to have a balance of both in order to make an impactful effort in the community for the best of the community and for ourselves. So with this, I think, sir, over to you, sir.
So thank you, Dr. Yamuna. It was short, yet you covered quite a bit. However, I see one question there. Dr. K. Venugopal wants to suggest that have some practical aspects maybe in the future sessions. But I was just exploring the possibility that is it possible for you to give us some insight into how exactly to go about or do a PRA? If you
Sir,
can just give us maybe a brief exposure to that, that should also be fine.
sure, sir. So PRA is completely different, wherein it's a rural appraisal and there is no
I know.
action involved in it. So
Yes.
PLA, yes, yes, sorry. So participatory learning and action, wherein we go to a community, basically, a high risk pocket. Say, for example, a high risk pockets in a area. So wherein we go with the question whether it matches with the local needs. We have to observe that, and we have to identify the goals and objectives what we already have. We can we have to match that with the needs of the community. If it go well, yes, go ahead with the
Uh,
initial. Yes, sir.
Dr. Yamuna, you can stop sharing the screen so that, because I don't think you're needing to share anything more. So, yeah, that's fine. Thanks. Please continue.
Yes, sir. So we'll go with the we go to the community with the research question. So let's have a goal and objective, and then do a analysis whether it is the same need of the community, and go ahead and have a discussion. So explorative discussion, do semi-structured interviews, meet the key observer, key informants like advocacy, panchayat leaders or SSG federation members based on the target population what you are addressing. You have to meet people, have a key informant interview, do focus group discussions, and identify the problems what they can have. So here what we did was we our focus was on the women health. So we went to SSG Federation. So we sat with them. We also went to Gram Panchayat. We sat with them. We discussed what would be the potential issues what they're facing right now. So this issue was brought to the volunteers, which we selected, which they volunteered for participatory learning and action what we were doing. So they came out, and there were certain approaches what we followed, like I discussed. So there were a group analysis, group activity, wherein they ensured that all the the problems what they have faced will be enlisted. So that was one activity. After enlisting, we tried to group this and prioritized it. What was the priority taken up on the priority need? So it was the healthy lifestyle, which encompassed their generalized weakness, joint pains, and then the sugar, diabetes in their own terminologies. So we first took up this healthy lifestyle part in that healthy eating. So wherein they themselves fed the methodologies and the inputs. So this was how we could bring out. So still we are learning, and it's not it's not desirable to have a standard practical approach there. However, the community lead us to take us to a particular objective and the goals, sir. So that's what the PLA is about.
Okay. So as I understand, this would require quite a bit of the planning as well as groundwork,
Very
right?
true, sir.
Because as you said, yeah, you have to actually identify, then you have to find out the stakeholders, the community leaders, you have to engage with them, you have to talk to them. So I think that requires quite a bit of planning as well as reaching out, communication, getting them to believe and trust you, a lot of those things, right?
Sir, it took around 6 to 8 months for us to establish this. So
Yes,
PLA happened automatically, but it took around
yes.
6 to 8 months to be the one among them. So a lot of efforts, a lot of time goes in, getting the trust out there, sir.
Right. And
Yes.
I don't see any question, but I have a couple of questions if it's okay, so that maybe it can help some viewers also. Uh, I thought I'll take this opportunity since we have some time. So, okay, there is a question. 1 minute. Let me just. Okay, expertise from which all fields should come together to initiate participatory learning and action from the action in the community. Only community medicine practitioners or others too? This is Dr. Purnami from AJ Institute of Medical Sciences, Mangalore.
Correct, sir. So basically, it's based on the research question what we are going with, or the goal what we are observing. So here, for example, what the practice what we are doing related to women health in the SHG, it's community medicine practitioner, yes, and we have on board the SHG Federation trainers. So they are the trainers, master trainers in their own SHGs at the various levels in the cluster, and the key participants would be the the SHG members themselves. And if it is feasible to have a social worker, it is well and good. And if it is feasible to have a expertise not on board, but some technical expertise related to women's health, that will be helpful, sir.
Mhm. Okay, thank
And
you.
anthropologist, if you have a luxury of having an anthropologist, that will be better.
Okay,
So it's based on your budget and feasibility.
right. So I just wanted to know, what are the challenges that you have encountered
Yes, sir. So
from your
first, like,
experience? Yeah, from your experience.
yes, sir. So when we go as an outsider, until they establish a rapport, they see we have come there for our own, our own reasons, our
Mm-hmm.
own, advantages. So number one would be that. Number two, they won't open up. They won't share
Mm-hmm.
the data. So we have to explain and take that, since we are an NGO. If it is from the government side, it would be helpful. But being an outsider, and that too from an NGO, they will doubt your credibility, and you have to do some initiate initial activities like some medical camps, some awareness activities, develop a rapport with the community members, and develop a rapport with the advocacy agents there. So then only they'll start, and they believe that we are trying to do some good for them. So this was the one challenge, and one more is like the time. So whenever we go to the field, the time what they give would be difficult for us. Our whole day would be included in the one PLA session.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time they get together would be difficult. So that is the one challenge. And one more thing is like there will be some outliers who see like these are all like they won't accept the things. So we have to deal with them very sensibly. And one more thing, we might end up in false hopes, for giving false hope for them. Say for example, they see some tangible benefits out of whatever we do, so they assume that we will be going to provide them some incentives if they be part of it. So that we have to be wary of and be very careful regarding. So we have to be clear enough in the beginning that we are not going to have any tangible benefits. It's completely participatory and voluntarily. So beyond that, once the trust is developed, once the collaboration happens, and once we you get the support from the local leaders and the local health authority, I think it will be a easy go, sir.
Okay. So thank you. I think you have also, I was about to follow up with a question asking that you have any tips, but you already integrated that into the response that you gave. So I think that's good. I also wanted to understand, like, suppose now some people get inspired by this session and they want to start off or they want to try it out. What uh, some very essential tips you would like to give them, and what is the kind of training that is available or that can be considered?
So basically, so wherever they are, whether they are in the medical college or where they are in the governmental organization or NGO, they can still practice PLA. So basically, to begin with, wherever they collect the data, don't end up in collecting only data. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
He's my son. Okay.
No problem.
So
That's okay.
don't end up, yes, sir. Don't use the community to just extract the data. Rather, use the data and give some actionable plan to them and follow it up. Whether you're doing a quantitative study or qualitative study, if you are extracting the data, don't end there. Give some actionable plan. Until you are there, just monitor. And one more thing. Tips, it's like have a so I didn't get the question, sorry, I just missed it.
No, so if somebody wants to start off, so are there
Mhm.
any
Training,
materials, any
correct.
trainings? In fact, I just saw. I think some Dr. Patel has asked.
Yes.
So the same thing, that some Indian training. Yeah, Dr. Adil
So we
Patel
do
has asked about any
we do
Indian
have
training.
yes, sir, we do have NIHFW's online training on PLA specifically. They
NIHFW. Okay.
NIHFW, so it is very good, and I've been taken up since few days. They can register in that, and they will be certified, and it will engulf. But at the end of the day, you have to read, review, and practice. So that
True.
will teach you, but be wary of not doing mistakes so that it harm the community. Rather, go slow. Approach followed should be you are technically sound in that field. You have to adopt, and then you have to go with a slow approach.
Are there any opportunities or any kind of like maybe observer or probably a internship or whatever you may want to call it? So are there any opportunities like that?
So Priya, one of the institute in Delhi, they do have this. They exclusively follow this participatory rural, initiatives. So it's an agency. So it's there, and then there are many. I don't see many of the NGOs right now following the PLA. So Exjut is a place where you can have a fellowship and then absorb the things what they're doing. So these two things we can have it. So
I have come across PRA more than PLA. PLA I wasn't much aware of, but PRA
Yeah.
I have seen, and I have also seen some papers which are published on PRA.
Yes. So PRA was there was a conflict. You would have heard about Myrada. So Jimmy Massarachans, he was the one who coined the term PLA. He said appraisal is appraisal. So it's not
Mhm.
action. So that's why
Okay.
it's a PLA. Now it has been taken up widely, sir. So exit trial and all the other trials, they use the term PLA, sir.
Okay. Any other questions from any of our participants, any of the viewers? So what inspired you, Dr. Yamuna, to actually take up this and get into this? If you could quickly share.
Yes, sir. So when I see when I go to the community, like even if a one person, single person is happy with their initiative, and he say go after I go back, he say akka nanga ನೀವು ಅವತ್ತು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ತುಂಬಾ help ಆಯ್ತು. I could go quickly to the hospital and I got treated. And they say like we empower the community to participate in the meetings. So GP meetings, they're actively participating. We could see some slow changes which is impacting at least in that village. So that smile on the faces what they have got, and that adolescents innovations, and that that creativity what they have got. And if I see being a woman, and sorry for not using the men's thing here, so woman is one who leads the society, who leads the family, and she can take decisions. Indeed we say male dominance, but woman, if she is empowered to run a family, to take the healthy choices, to make the decisions, she can do the same for a family also, and she can do the same for a peer and for whole community, sir. So I can see the progression, and I can see the development there.
Mm-hmm. So that's interesting. That's quite good. I think, are you aware of any such initiatives at different places, or are there other places which are adopting this?
Sir, in right now there is one more trial happening in Orissa and Jharkhand, wherein they are implementing ECCD, that is Early Childhood and Development Program.
Mm-hmm.
It is like developmental initiatives. They're teaching the mothers through PLA sessions regarding how to have a stimulative environment, how to make the kid more active. It's like brain development up to 0 to 3 years. That is one thing which is happening, and in NCDs also certain things are happening. Other south, no, in Bangladesh there are certain trials which are alive, and it will be we will be getting the report in another 2 to 3 years, sir.
Okay. So when they want to publish and all, are there any ethical concerns or ethics related issues?
So PLA as such won't be published as such. It is RCT what we are going to follow. It's a trial, like
Right.
intervention trial. So we
So
follow
that
the
will have,
same
yeah, that would have,
standards.
yeah, correct. That would have gone
Yes,
through
sir.
the ethics board and or
Yes,
ethics
sir.
review
Same
committees.
what we
Yes,
follow.
yes, right. So I don't see any other question, Dr. Yamuna. Thank you for, first of all, agreeing to be a part of this and at quite a short notice, also giving us some insight into PLA, giving us some idea about what exactly you're doing, and also answering so many questions that we posed.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks for the opportunity, sir. I hope it was useful.
It is indeed useful. This will
Yes,
be
sir.
archived on our YouTube channel of Karnataka IAPSM. This recording will be put up there shortly. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So,
Thank you, Asha
so
ma'am.
with
Thank
that,
you.
yeah, with that we will close and thank you so much. And back to you, Clarnet. Sorry, my Zoom had frozen. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I said that thank you again. Hello. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I said thank you once again, Dr. Yamuna, and I'm not sure if I was audible in the last part. My Zoom had frozen. So
Yes, sir.
I thank you again on behalf of IAPSM Karnataka and of course on my personal behalf as well. And thanks to Dr. Asha as well. And thank you, Clarnet, for partnering with us. I hand it back over to you, Clarnet, for closure. And as I said, this recording will be archived and it will be put up on the YouTube channel of IAPSM Karnataka for anybody to refer to it and also go through it or send it to their friends and colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Clarnet, Rimpa? I think, I'm not sure if they are around. So we can probably close. Thank you, everyone. Thank you once again.
Okay, so thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful session. So with all your permission, I'm closing the session over here. Thank you so much.